Do you have a narrow garden? Maybe you live in a town, city or village where all the gardens are in rows. Perhaps you have a really long, thin garden. Or maybe your rectangle isn't much more than a courtyard. If so, we've got 12 garden design and garden layout ideas to make your garden seem bigger and more beautiful. I'm Alexandra from the Middle-Sized Garden blog. So if your garden is larger than a courtyard but smaller than an acre, join us to find out how you can enjoy it even more. So, narrow or thin rectangular gardens. Firstly, choose a theme. You could choose rustic country, seaside, exotic, vintage, upcycled, or perhaps contemporary like this garden by designer Charlotte Rowe. Or try theming by colour. Yellow and grey, for example. This garden belongs to garden writer Francine Raymond, and she's chosen a yellow and grey theme based on the yellow bricks and grey slates of her house. Even her raised beds in the veg patch are painted yellow. Nordic whites is another possibility, or pink, or turquoise blue. You can even base it on the architecture of your house, a Victorian garden, a modern garden, a cottage garden. Next, blur the boundaries. The most common mistake people make in designing a narrow garden is that they try to make the garden look bigger by pushing everything round to the edges to make as much lawn as possible in the middle. This really emphasises the size and shape. You want to disguise the narrowness by blurring the boundaries. For example, you could use an offset or curving path. The path goes to one side of the garden and there's maybe a big planting bed or a lawn on the other side. Or you might offset the lawn. You've got a full bed of planting on one side and the lawn on the other. You could try no lawn at all, just lavish planting. Turn a small garden into a jungle adventure by winding paths through the greenery. No one will know exactly where it stops or starts. Next, divide the garden into rooms or areas, but make sure that the eye can see through to what lies beyond. Don't cut the view off with high hedges or trellises or fencing, because that will make the garden seem even smaller. This garden has vegetables close to the house with a path through them, leading to an open lawn area. To one side is a pergola seat, and then beyond that lawn area is lavish planting and a table. Behind that, barely seen, is the shed and the practical area. The sort of rooms you can think of are seating areas, open areas, lawn, gravel, planting area, wildlife area, practical area, place for the children to play, and so on. Just think about what you want to do in your garden. Next, be generous with terraces or seating areas. You'll get much more use out of a big terrace in a small garden, and it means you can use pots to ring the changes. And equally, use some big plants or trees. Mature trees are literally irreplaceable, so never cut down a tree until you've really thought about what you need in your garden. You can probably achieve everything by keeping the tree but pruning it well. Then incorporate as much storage as possible into the design because you'll be short of space. Paint sheds, log stalls, etc. in your garden's theme colour. And as always, while you're designing and building and creating the garden, think about how does the house look when you look at it from the garden? And even more important, how does the garden look when you look out at it from the windows of the house? What are you going to see 12 months of the year when you look at your garden? Always design the garden off the house. You can find out more about narrow and thin gardens and indeed some of the gardens and gardeners in this video on the Middle-Sized Garden blog, so do check the links in the description below. And to get the most out of your middle-sized garden, do subscribe to the Middle-Sized Garden blog or YouTube channel. Thank you. See you soon, I hope. Bye.